Welcome back, everybody. This is the next episode in the Expos Draft to Glory. I am Laptop Hound, and yes, the face cam is on now because you just never know. We are getting so close to making the playoffs for the very first time. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you may be when you're watching this episode. Thank you for tuning in. And if you're tuning in for the first time, go back and check out the origin. Go watch episode 1. See this how it began. No trades, no free agency, no international signing. We have to build a championship from the ground up, right through the inaugural draft where we drafted the worst possible players because we wanted a challenge. Yeah, we got it. And we can only build through the draft. That's why it's called Draft to Glory. All right, let's take a look at where our lineup is right now going into 1908. How are you feeling? It's 1908. Oh, psst, there's a war going to start in a few years. Just a heads up. 1908, the Expos look like this. We're leaving Scott Stratton in the minors. Of course, he's only 18 years old. He was our first round pick last year, and we don't want to rush this guy. This was a guy that we took instead of Shohei Ohtani. We thought we might get Ohtani round 2, and he went one pick before our second round pick. So this might have been 2 years ago. How time flies. Yes, this was the 4th overall pick back in 1906. 18 years old. We got him as a 17-year-old. Let's let him grow in the minor leagues. Going to our starters, we are going to put Roy Halladay in the starting lineup. He's going to take over for Fritz. His stamina is at 40. This is dead ball. I think he can handle it. We'll keep an eye on him. Looks like he's pretty much fully developed, so any other development will be a surprise one way or the other, but he's reached his current potential 3-star player for Roy Halladay. And of course, the Senator, still our ace. What a story he has been. Again, go back and watch the previous episodes. Ted the Senator Kennedy. Again, bullpen doesn't get used much in dead ball, but we do have a few guys in there. And looking at our batters, again, we've pretty much got a full lineup of everyone we drafted in the serious drafts. We got 3 more players to replace. Probably will be done next season. We're getting there. We almost have a full drafted lineup, which will be cool because these guys I want to get the preferential treatment over those, guys we drafted in the inaugural draft. Okay, looking at the ratings a little bit. We've got Bo Jackson, Cal Daniels, Paul Molitor, Joe Sewell. Those are kind of our all-stars. Those are the players that we were able to take in these years and have performed extremely well. So in this next draft, we probably want to get someone, third base, center field. Those are kind of our weaker positions. Yeah, let's take a look at the news, shall we? All right, the top prospect list has been published, and Scott Stratton is projected as the number 8 overall prospect. And Bob Chance, a little bit of a surprise. Bob Chance we took in round 5 a couple seasons ago. And he has made some movement. He is saying, I am not a 5th round pick. I deserve to be higher. And he's showing that. He is now the number... the number 6 rated prospect in the game. So we have 2 of the top 10. That's looking good. Bob Chance, mainly a first baseman, can play right field. But again, when we look at his history, he's the most valuable player, finished 2nd in the voting there. Platinum Stick Award, Great Glove in the Rookie League World Series. And he had a movement in his ratings. So Bob Chance looks like he's going to be a surprise member of the Expos, maybe as soon as next year. All right, let's get this first month underway. The Expos, if we look back at their history, go to the history here. We have one season above 500 where we made the run to the playoffs. And then last season, above 500. But you can see we started off horrible. 28 wins, 38 wins, 49 wins. This was an outlier. We weren't expecting to do that well. We went to the last week of the season and almost made the World Series. So we're building off our above 500. Let's go for 600. Let's go for within 10 games of the division lead. That is the goal this year. Let's do it. Let's go to the beginning of the next month. Go Expos. It is May 1st, and with May 1st, usually we get a player update. Look at this, Ted Kennedy. Again, a guy we took in the inaugural draft as a 1.5 star player, has recorded his career 2,000th strikeout. High five, Ted. Yeah, big milestone achievement there. And again, only 27 years old. He will be a guy we'll probably keep in our rotation just as the captain from the inaugural draft. Again, we took this guy, let's look at his history, in the 15th round of the inaugural draft. He was still there in round 15, and we took all the lower rated players. So we got to keep him. He is our token inaugural draft player. So congratulations, Ted Kennedy, on your 2,000th win. 2,000 strikeout, 2,000th win. Yeah, that would be quite the accomplishment. A few other updates here. Again, we're not going to go through them. If you want to look them over, feel free to pause the video. Bob Chance, again, is making a move. Man, this it's always nice when you get these little surprises in the late rounds of your picks, because there's not much left in round 5, 6, 7, and up to round 10. So to get a player breakout like that, we took a chance on Chance. And it was a good pick. I know, lame. Okay, let's see where the Expos are in the division. We are 7-9. It's early, first month. We're within 3.5 games. Let's go into June. June 1st it is, and right off the bat we see Phil Plantier has taken a nosedive. Phil Plantier, if you've been following the series, we drafted him in the second round. Second round picks are supposed to be pretty good. 17th overall, but he's taken a nosedive. You can see his progression over the last few years. Partially blame myself, not properly developing him, kind of rushed him up to the big leagues. He's been on the team for quite a while now, and you see his stats are, okay, but we probably brought him up way too soon, but we were desperate. We, especially with the opportunity of almost making the playoffs early, probably should have kept him in the minors. And when you're playing this game, don't rush your players. It can have a huge impact. Roy Halladay, though. Roy Halladay, although he's dropped to a 2.5 star player, he is 7-6, 1.99 ERA. So we're getting out of Roy what I was hoping to get out of Roy. He's not going to be the premier pitcher like he was in real life. We drafted him with the 4th overall pick, passed up on some really good players, hoping Roy would become the real life Roy. Hasn't happened. But for now, he's our number 2 pitcher. And Ted Kennedy, 12-8. What can you say about this guy? Continuing to roll, and he still has a couple pitches that he can improve on. Expos currently are above 500. We are 1 game above 500. I want to get to 600. Come on, Expos. Let's go into July close to 600. Let's do this. Happy Canada Day, as I always say on these streams, and July 1st, fitting, a Canadian playing player with the Toronto Blue Jays in real life, Roy Halladay, a quality start, 19-game streak with a quality start. Now, it is dead ball. You're more likely to get those quality starts, but very nice for Roy Halladay. And Roy Halladay currently sitting at 11-8, Ted Kennedy 19-13, and the Montreal Expos currently are, let's find out together, Is that right? We are in first place. We are 40-32. High fives all around. Yeah. Way to go, Expos. I did not see that coming. Again, going to temper my expectations. We've been here before. I'm not quite ready to compete yet, or at least I didn't think I was. But this team has managed to pull it together. Let's take a look at the leaderboard here and see which Expos are amongst the whole league leaders. We've got Bo Jackson, 4th in on-base percentage. We got Phil Plantier with 37. Hey, he knew we were talking about him. Look, he's come up to a 3.5-star player. Or at least he stayed at a 3.5-star player. So way to go. Maybe we'll see some improvement in his development. Phil, he heard us talking. We've got Paul Molitor with the most at-bats in the league. Again, top of the order. And Cal Daniels still striking out quite a bit. Let's go to the next month. August 1st. The summer is winding down. And at the top of the prospect list is Expo Bob Chance. This guy is on a mission. He is now projected as a 5-star potential player. I showed you earlier. He was a 5th-round pick. You may remember that episode. If you've been keeping up on all of these and, being invested in some of these players, it's time to invest into Bob Chance. Oh, man. So for every Roy Halladay that may decline, we've got someone just coming out of nowhere. Number 1 prospect, Scott Stratton, number 6, and Manny Seguin, a catcher that we took in 1907. So last year's draft, he has moved into the top 10 prospect list. Oh boy, do we need a high-end catcher. And if he keeps developing, it will be Manny Seguin. So 3 top 10. First time we've had 3 players in the top 10 for prospects. Oh, I'm loving it. Let's see where we are in the standings. We are currently tied. 580 average. Win percentage. I want 600. We are so close. I'm ecstatic to be where we are. The Chicago Cubs, they were the ones that snapped up Ohtani 1 pick before we were going to take him round 2. And right now he is on their team. They've got him playing in the bullpen as a 4.5-star player. I knew he was going to be good, but we went with Scott Stratton, who I'm still happy with. I think Stratton will be a good player, but Ohtani, he's that 2-way player, which for this type of league, I should have known in the Deadball Era, pitchers hit, there is no DH. Yeah, I'm still stings a little bit not being able to get Ohtani. So right now we're tied with the rival Cubs. They are going to be our rival from now on. What else do we got? Ted Kennedy, the most wins with 26, most strikeouts. Phil Plantier still leading in RBIs. Yeah, we're having a really good season with some of these players. Let's go to September. As the kids make their way back to school, September 1st, waiting outside as the leaves fall for the bus, we don't know yet. We are on September 1st. You see some of the updates here to some of our players again. I'm kind of afraid to look. Where are the Expos? We are still in first. Look at this. This possibly could be now our best opportunity of making the World Series for the first time. Face cam is on because I knew we were going to be close, and we are going to be close. The Pittsburgh Pirates 1 game back. The Chicago Cubs have fallen a little bit. Whew. Let's go around the league a little bit. Find out if we have any players in the top. This Pete Browning, remember we renamed the Most Valuable Player Award to the Pete Browning Award because this guy, he's a good player. He's won it just a few times. He won it the first 5 times that the league has been around. Pete Browning, St. Louis Cardinal at the moment. All right, Paul Molitor, 5th in hits. Phil Plantier still leading in RBIs. Anything else that we should kind of be... Joe Garagiola, playing fairly well. He knows there's a young catcher up and coming. He wants to show that he still deserves to be here. Rookie in the lineup last season and proving that he's got some game. He currently has the best hit streak this year, 19-game hit streak for Joe Garagiola. Danny Darwin, 12-game save streak. Ted Kennedy, 9-game undefeated streak. So yeah, we've got some players that are showing off their talent. Roy Halladay, 4 Ks in a row, almost at the top of the leaderboard. 27 scoreless innings for Roy Halladay. So he was ready for prime time. He was ready to be our number 2 pitcher. Let's take a look at, again, some of the stats. Roy is 19-17. Ted is 31-20. 7 saves for Kyle Wheeland, who was reliever of the year back in our very first season. And let's take a look at some of the hitting stats. We haven't looked at those yet this episode, as I know you may be, again, invested in some of these players on the Expos. Paul Molitor, let's highlight him. So Paul Molitor, after hitting .295 last season, hitting .263. He's got 29 stolen bases. And anything else stand out? 46 RBIs, 141 hits. But again, he is only 23 years old. He's bound to only get better. Phil Plantier, going back to him, leading in RBIs. He currently has 71 now. 273 average. The strikeouts, they're going to come with that low avoid K. He does have 63 strikeouts, 34 walks, and he has moved up to a 4-star player again. Excellent for Phil Plantier. And let's take a look at one other. In our first serious draft, we took first rounder, number 2 overall, Joe Sewell. He's had a 29-game hitting streak back in 1902, and his stats have relatively stayed the same. Did win a Gold Glove, or a Platinum Stick Award, I should say, last season. Hitting .242, not what I was hoping offensive-wise. Let's hope his fielding is really good. Minus 9.3 for Joe Sewell. Wow. I would think with this range, he'd be a little bit better. He's probably better suited as a second baseman. So I think maybe we got to make some lineup changes here. If we go back to the ratings, take a look at defense. Paul Molitor, again, he's got about the same amount of range. If we compare him to Joe Sewell, and defense, who is better at short? Who's got the better range? Yeah, still the edge, I think, goes to Sewell. Although with that double play, he's probably better suited as a second baseman. So there's someone we need to target maybe in an upcoming draft as a true elite shortstop, because it's not Joe Sewell. So glad I looked at that. And let's take a look at Cal Daniels. 257. Cal Daniels was a player we took in the first round, second overall in 1903. So he's aging. He's getting up there, 26 years old. And just a solid player, 5-star player. Again, defense, not that great. But this is dead ball, where only true elite defense will probably put you in that positive zone rating. If we look at all our players in terms of their defense, let's look at their fielding stats. Zone rating, Joe Ward at third base, excellent. He's almost at a 7. Pat Mullen in center field, not hitting that well. But again, really good zone rating. And third would be Bo Jackson, I guess, of our everyday players. Yeah, he is probably our best average guy, hitting 290. Let's just double check that. Batting stats, average. Yeah, it is Bo Jackson hitting close to 300. Standings again, one game up. Do we play a full month here or do we go week by week? Let's look at the schedule. How deep into October? Yeah, let's go a couple weeks at a time. Let's play out this first week. Montreal Expos hanging on, going 2 for 3 in that week. Let's go one more week here. Half a game out, back into first. All right, 4-game win streak. Oh, where are we? We are 3.5 games up, middle of September. Next week. Come on, Expos, hang in there. Milestone, 500 career wins for the team. The Expos with their 500th career win, 3.5 games up. Phil Plantier leading in RBIs. Ted Kennedy leading in wins, strikeouts. 3.5 games. This will be the key week. Can we stay above 3 games after this week? Let's find out. The Expos increase their lead. We are now 4.5, 5.5, 6. High fives all around. The Montreal Expos are 2 games, magic number of 2, of clinching their first World Series appearance in 1908. 7 years after starting the franchise, we are within 2 games, 86 and 63. Who is leading the AL? The Athletics. Will it be a Montreal-Philadelphia finals? Well, we've got to do this, right? We've got to watch this historic moment. If we go to the schedule, magic number is 2. So let's finish today. We're playing Cincinnati. If we win, and who's in second? Chicago loses. We've clinched. It looks like Chicago did lose. We've got a magic number of 1, and what that means is we are going in game for I think only the second time in this series to see if the Montreal Expos can clinch. All they have to do is win this game. Let's see these drafted players, these names that we've talked about. Let's see them in action. Can they clinch? Roy Halladay on the mound. After the first half inning, no score for Cincinnati. The Expos are held scoreless. We go to inning 2, and it is 1-0 for the Reds. We go to the next inning. Reds increase their lead 2-0. After 4, it is 2-1 the Montreal Expos in the 4th inning. A single by Joe Sewell, another single by Bo Jackson, and Cal Daniels would get the RBI. It is 2-1 Reds. We go to the 6th. It is still 2-1. We head to the 7th. It is 2-2. The Montreal Expos, let's see how they scored their second run. Bo Jackson again would single. Cal Daniels would single him over to third. And a single by Joe Ward. With 2 out, ties up the game. Let's go to the bottom of 7. After your peanuts and cracker jacks and your 7th inning stretch, the Montreal Expos cannot break the deadlock. Top of the 8th, Nothing for the Reds. We go to the bottom of the 8th, and the Expos up at bat. Cal Daniels at the plate in their gorgeous home uniforms. Cal Daniels will fly out to left field, one away. Phil Plantier, the league's RBI leader, at the plate. He drives one, but it hangs up just long enough for the right fielder to track it. 2 down. Joe Garagiola up against starter Tom Griffin. Garagiola drives one to first. Easy play. 3 up, 3 down. As we go to the top of the 9th, the Reds go scoreless. The scene is set. Bottom of 9, 2-2 game. The Expos can clinch their first ever World Series appearance. Joe Ward at the plate. Here's the pitch. Joe Ward drives it, hanging up again, just enough for the right fielder to make the out. Pitcher Roy Halladay. Roy, you've had a great game, but we can clinch here. So we're going to bring in a pinch hitter. We're going to bring in, who's got the best contact? Akil Baddoo is going to come in for Roy Halladay. Let's see if we can get him on base. Pinch hitter. Tom Griffin still in the game. And the right fielder getting a lot of play time in this game makes the easy out. And we go to hitter number 9, Pat Mullen. Can he get on base? He drives one deep to the gap, and that's going to fall. That's going to go against the wall. Here comes Mullen around second base. He's going for the triple, and he legs it out. Pat Mullen, 1 base away from clinching a World Series title. Or appearance, at least. Don't get ahead of yourself, Lap. A World Series appearance. Paul Molitor can bring him in. Tom Griffin, Paul Molitor. Here's the pitch. Molitor drives one. That is going to fall. And the Montreal Expos, for the first time in this franchise, have clinched the division and therefore a World Series appearance. You've seen it here, face cam on. Oh, man. Roy Halladay, the player of the game, he takes the win going the full distance. The pinch hit, I'm going to say it worked, even though that player didn't get on base. Walk-off for Paul Molitor. 3 for 5 against the Reds. Oh, Paul. The igniter. Yeah, he truly is the igniter here, getting the winning RBI 6th-round pick 2 seasons ago. Paul, we salute you. You have brought the Montreal Expos to their first World Series. Let's go to the end of the regular season. Let's see how this plays out. We have clinched, but let's just savor the last few games as they take place. Wow. And the playoffs begin. For the Montreal Expos, let's take a look at the final standings. Montreal, Philadelphia. Expos almost finishing 600. I don't care. We made it. We're in the show. Philadelphia has a better record. 8 games. 8 games. We beat the Cubs. All right, let's take a look at the final stats here. Kennedy, 41-24. Roy Halladay, 25-18. Fantastic. 2 candidates for Pitcher of the Year. 196 ERA for Roy Halladay. Did he go up in his stamina? No, he's still sitting at 40. They will be our 2 playoff starters. And in the hitting category, Just beautiful. Beautiful to see. Let's look around the league at the end of the season now. Bo Jackson, second in home runs with 7. Phil Plantier did take the RBI title with 83. Paul Molitor, the most at-bats in the league, the hero of the franchise. We're going to the playoffs, baby. We're going to the playoffs. And we will do that in the next episode. This has been long enough already. We will have the playoff episode and the draft coming up for 1908. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please leave a like, share, subscribe, all that YouTube stuff. Let's get the algorithm sharing this and promoting it to other people that may play OOTP. Thank you for tuning in. It's a great day for baseball. It is a great day for Expos baseball. Laptop Pound signing off. We'll see you next episode. Expos, Phillies, World Series.